There are a lot of students who might come to me and say, well, should I get this bow, and should I get this bow, and should I get this bow, and this bow does this, and this bow does this, and unless you find a bow that can, like, one, pay your bills or make your bed or clean your house, then I'll say get that one. Hey everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. So it's very late at night. Well, it's not that late. It's just late at night. And I've already mentioned that it's hard for me to practice in my apartment because I can't bother my neighbors. And I don't know why I'm speaking with a Southern accent, but that's what I was doing. And I have left my practice mute over there. So I'll be right back. So for those of you who want to see a practice mute, a bass practice mute, it looks like this. Some of you may not know about practice mutes, but they actually do a decent job of deadening or dampening the vibrations of the bridge. So you can practice at night. It does a decent job. It doesn't do a great job because people would still hear me, but it does do a decent little job. And I've even seen some people go further. And so be careful, y'all, because I don't want anyone come. I realized I was looking at the wrong thing. Now I'm looking at you. I don't want people coming after me stuffing, like, I don't know, trying to put who knows what else in their bass. What you need to do, some people will stuff towels, soft things in their instrument to dampen the sound so it doesn't make a lot of noise when they're playing. People have done this in hotel rooms. They'll take towels and or even clothing, and because the idea is you just want to stop the vibration of the not the string, the vibration of the bridge. And if you can stop that vibration, you can still play with getting minimal sound and just get string noise instead of the vibration of the string through the bridge, which of course goes to the acoustic body and the resonating chamber and then creates the sound that we all make. So anyway, this is a bass mute. This is a Tamasi. Actually, I think it might be considered a student bow, but it's a long story how I got this bow, but it was through Gwinnett House, and I was demonstrating on all the basses. This is at the 2011 ISB convention. I was demonstrating on all the basses with this stick, and I ended up getting the stick. My other bow, do I even have it? I don't have it. Oh, I'll have to show it to you. My Radoslavovich stick, this happens every once in a while. The screw, something got stripped in here, so it won't stay tightened. Actually won't stay tightened on the bow. So I have to get that repaired. So for now, I use my Tamasi. I have a lot of sticks now. I didn't have this, and this is actually half of what I'm talking about. Now this is my Grooming Jay, and it's come up in conversation on Instagram. What's up with a wrap here on the tip here? So this Grooming Jay, this stick I got, when did I get this stick? This might be a fun story. I got my first bass in 2004. That must have been, yeah, 2004. I purchased that instrument, the Jacquet. And then when I went to Santa Fe Opera, it was my first big gig. And I went to Robertson and Sons violin shop in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is only about 50 miles from Santa Fe. I went to school with Aaron Robertson, one of the sons of Robertson and Sons violin shop. So I've known the Robertsons for a long time. And I think I must have gone to Aaron and say, look, like, I'm doing this gig at Santa Fe Opera. I'm making a little extra dough. I wanted a new stick. And I remember Aaron, because y'all, let's talk a little bit about this. I didn't plan on spending all this time on this, but whatever. I was trying to look for bows, and everyone who looks for bows, there are a lot of students who might come to me and say, well, should I get this bow, and should I get this bow, and should I get this bow, and this bow does this, and this bow does this, and unless you find a bow that can, like, one, pay your bills or make your bed or clean your house, then I'll say get that one, because it will give you more time to actually practice. But unless you find one of those, it's gonna be a personal decision on what bow that you get. Ultimately, it's gonna be a personal decision. So, and I say this because I remember, and this is a fun story, when I was a student at Curtis, something happened to one of my sticks before an audition, and Hal he was like, oh, use any of my sticks, and he brought his sticks in, and he had like 4 or 5, and it was weird. is I didn't actually like any of them. They didn't feel good in my hand, and that's not a diss against Hal. It's just the way the bow felt in my hand. I think I ended up playing a bow that the school owned. I think that's what I ended up playing. So I say that because particularly at a certain level, it's going to be really, really important that you feel comfortable with the stick. Now you do want to get guidance. You want your teachers to play the bow. You might even have friends play the bow to get guidance because they can give you a professional view or just another view, another view on how the bow will actually feel. So you're going to want to get some kind of feedback on the bow, but ultimately you're the one who's going to have to play the bow. So I would say narrow it down to like 2 or 3, and then start to figure out what works best with you, what gives you the most control. And honestly, at the highest level, when you're looking at sticks, your teacher will be able to guide you and say, you should definitely not get that stick, or wow, that stick works really well, you'll get a real bargain. So, I mean, looking for bows can be quite the adventure. But anyway, so the way I got this bow, and I'll probably talk more about that in the future, but the way I got this bow was, I asked Aaron, give me all your sticks. I didn't have a lot of money to buy a stick that was like, I don't know, back then, a really, really expensive stick, and this was back then, was probably $8,000 to $10,000. I mean, now you can buy a bow that costs over 20. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, a bass bow. I'm not making this up. But back then it was probably like 10, maybe 12. But I said, Aaron, just put all the bows on the table. Don't tell me what they are. I won't look at the price. I just want to play them. And I went through all the bows that he put on that table. I don't know if he gave me all the nicest ones, but he gave me, it was a whole array, and some were very expensive. And the one that stood out to me, y'all, was this one, this Grooming Jay. It's a powerful stick. I loved it because it's so fast. What I mean so fast, I can put the bow on the string and it responds really, really quickly. So that's why, and I know it's really dirty, y'all. That's kind of embarrassing. That looks terrible. I know. It looks, I know. Yeah, whatever. So, and this Grooming Jay stuck out to me like a sore thumb. And I was like, that's the bow. I remember we were playing Mozart. We were playing Marriage of Figaro, and there was this lick. I think it's Magic Flute. And there's this lick. This is the first notes I'm playing today, also. No judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. There's not a lot I like about, what's it called? What's the name of that place? Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, kind of a weird vibe there. But judgment-free zone, I like. So, unfortunately, you can't see my bow in this picture. You know what? You will be able to see my bow, but you won't be able to see my face, so give me a sec. The piece we were playing was Mozart's Magic Flute, and there's this movement, and these are, I'm telling you, these are literally the first notes I played today. And there was a movement, this da, and the strings part is like. So those who study with me, I always call those who study with me know that I call spiccato the uncontrolled, controlled stroke. And I'll have to get in that later. That's just not enough time to talk about that. But that's what this whole movement is, was the spiccato. You see where I am out on the stick? I'm actually just letting the bow do, there you go. You see where I am on the stick? I'm just letting the bow do all the work. So when I was at Robertson & Sons, I was trying that lick out with all the sticks. Now I did other pieces, of course, but that was something that really got my attention and really impressed me about this bow. And you can see, there we go, that's great. What a really great spiccato is, particularly with the bow, is that the bow is bouncing like crazy, but the hair is more or less staying on the string. I mean, it bounces, but you just want to have, that's the controlled aspect of the uncontrolled controlled stroke. So I'll show this one more time, and then I'll set the camera up because it's, again, I'm looking at the thing. There we go. Now I should be talking to you. I'm going to set the camera up so that I don't have to do this anymore. Okay, here we go. find that sweet spot. Not yet, y'all. There we go. That feels really good. I could probably use a little more rosin, but that just, anyway, this bow did that really well. And I'll put some rosin, well, I'm playing softly. And the whole point of this is the whole reason I'm doing this is to tell you why I'm not gonna play this bow, but I'll do that after I reset this camera. So why was I mentioning all this stuff with the bow? So I ended up getting this Grooming Jay, and it was really terrific for that. It's also a really powerful stick, and I can't play that for you because it's night and my neighbors will come and get me. But it's a really powerful stick. So it not only does it play that like that, not only does it have that flexibility for the Mozart, but it's really powerful. Like when I say it's powerful, it grabs the string and it pops the string with me having to do very little effort. So this is my Grooming Jay, and the reason it's got this winding on it is because the tip was broken. So what happens when you break the tip of a bow or you get a crack in your bow, it devalues the bow by 80%. So this bow is only worth 20% of what it once was. It's very sad. It's covered under insurance, so sure, I got the insurance check, but I would have really liked it if I didn't have the crack and maybe could have sold it 30 years from now for more money, but I will not get that. The good news, particularly if you're out looking for a bow, is that the bow still plays really well. So it reduces the value, but the bow still plays well, which is why I still play it. Now, I had this bow with my Jacquet, and I actually bought it for the way it felt, not necessarily for the way it sounded, but the way it felt. I mean, it sounded good and all that fun stuff. And I finally bought a new bow for my first bow I ever bought for Norma. Oh, this is Norma. I'm not holding Riley. This is Norma. And so I bought my first bow with Norma, and that was like in the last 2 years, but that's my Huson, and I'll tell you about that a little later. But I went into this whole like storytelling thing only to say, when you have a heavy bow like this, which generally has a lot of rosin, as you can see by all the black that is on the bow, I generally don't want to play it when I'm playing solos and when I'm playing really softly at night. So I'm going to loosen this bow up, like as you all should do when you're done playing your bows, because it takes out the camera. We'll do that another day. I was not planning on spending all this time talking on this. So you want to loosen your bow. And I'm gonna bring out this Tamasi right here. And the Tamasi is, it is a lighter bow, it's not nearly as fast, and I use it now that my Radoslavovich, I believe that's how you say his name, is broken, and I've got this. So how many bows do I have? I have 5 bows, y'all. Yes, I've come a long way since my 8th grade days of playing the double bass in Savannah, Georgia. But yes, I'm very fortunate to have this many sticks, and they come in handy for the things I need to play. So there you have it. I haven't even done what I was gonna do, but there's that story.